Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final episode of this academic year of Life in Racers Lane. Today, we're joined by someone who has experienced UNOH from about every angle possible.
Close to at this point.
We're going to say yes until we find a different reason why there might be another angle that you haven't. So
We'll find it eventually.
we will. Exactly. So as a student athlete, campus leader, alumni, and now as a member of staff and adjunct professor. I don't know why that's not written in there.
Admin.
That's right. I'm going to right now. As an adjunct professor as well, from this side of things in the world to find out her own way on campus is an aspect here. But Abbie Meyer is joining us. Abbie graduated in 2020 from UNOH with a bachelor's degree in sports marketing and management. No self is plugged. Again, came back with a bachelor's degree in business administration in 2022, which we'll get to as well. And during her time as a student, she was heavily involved in campus life as a member of the softball team, a racer leader, participated in a numerous amount of sports management experiential learning opportunities, which we'll talk about as well. But today she serves as the Director of International Student Services, helping students from around the world navigate admissions, immigration requirements, and their transition to life in the United States. Wow. Abbie, welcome.
I feel like I got like a draft call.
Seriously, that was a lot.
Got like called off the bench to be here finally.
Well,
I feel like I've been on all of you guys to finally, I wanted my moment in the spot.
I figured it wouldn't take long for you to bring that up as well. Okay, for everyone listening, Abbie was not the first choice for this episode. Is that better?
I cried once about it, but I've moved on since.
But they can all attest, you've been on the list of someone that needs to be on an episode since we really started doing these topics, and really kind of created the rule of five and the whole purpose of this because, not only your story is unique, it's, special for me because I had you in class for a number of classes and then seeing you progress here and now interacting with you on the same, colleague basis has been a lot of fun. So, and what you do here, it's very important, it's very vital, and you do a really good job at it. So that's my selfless plug to say thank you for what you do here on campus. And I think, yes, you weren't the first choice, but I think it's a good fit for it regardless. All right, let's jump right into it. So let's talk first about the UNOH student experience. So we're going to jump back in time and say your time back it was unique for you because it was like before COVID and then during COVID and then after COVID. So it's a unique experience. So kind of, what brought you to UNOH and, talk a little bit about your time here, as a racer.
So my hometown's not very far from here. Jackson Center, Ohio. I know Airstream gets brought up a lot.
That does.
It's my hometown.
That's right.
So kind of grew up not far from the Lima area. My sister actually went here first. So Hannah played softball here as well before me. And then when I was graduating high school, I knew I was going to college, but I really didn't know where, what for. And the opportunity opened for me to play softball with my sister one final time. Stay close enough to home, but far enough away that my parents were not close.
Sure.
But still like close enough. I'm sure Maggie would agree.
Yeah. So it's like you're away, but you're not away enough.
Well, if I wanted to go home, I could go home in 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
But mom and dad also, I could be my own person.
Yeah. I was similar. I was 45 minutes away and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm finally away from home. And then, you talk to some people here and they're on the other side of the globe.
Well, now my job. But so, I'll be completely honest, it was sports. I'm one of probably many athletes that would say that. I came here because of softball and the education and figuring that out came after.
Sure.
And then, just came here, played softball, and been hanging out ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. So softball brought you here,
mm-hmm.
and then sport management was the choice. So what about sport management made you pick that, side of things or that direction?
So with playing softball, I also played basketball and volleyball in high school. I was very involved in athletics, played travel softball, I played JO volleyball. Athletes was kind of just a part of, athletics was a part of my life there in every aspect. And when I was looking at degrees that UNOH offered, I always really liked the idea of event planning, content creating, 2016 era content creating.
Yeah.
And sports marketing, when I looked into it more, being a sport event coordinator is a thing. And that's initially what I kind of wanted to do, was I wanted to be the one to arrange the big events that happen after sports.
Okay. Does it seem weird to say 2016 and how far back that was? You know how I feel.
Yeah, it is my 10-year high school youth.
Holy mackerel. That's crazy. So when you think back of that time as a student, what were some of your favorite memories? Not in that next step, like after COVID and with your other bachelors, but in that time period from 16 to 2020 in our program, what was some of your favorites?
I was definitely someone who went to literally anything and everything that campus had. I mean, even today, I was literally just over at the station right before this for the grad celebration they're holding today. So, like, some of my favorite memories were just doing stuff on campus. Casey Hicksonball now is phenomenal with the events she has, but we had different people that were still doing awesome events. So, like, anyone watching this, go to campus events.
Get involved.
Do everything.
Yes.
I still say it now to like the students I work with and just any student. UNOH isn't a massive campus. We're not Bowling Green. We're not Ohio State.
Sure.
So if you want to have a good time, you have to kind of make that good time, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
And that's going to the bowling alley, going to the skating rink, going to campus events, like kind of creating that stuff. And my favorite memories were hanging out.
Yeah, and it's funny because even, Braden and I's very first episode, we talked about some of the cool things that were happening on campus that not a lot of people knew about. And it keeps coming up again and again. Get involved, do things, be a part of the massive amounts of clubs, organizations, jobs, internships. If you're not on a sports team, we have opportunities all over to still be involved with those sports teams. I think the overall theme is just be involved. From your perspective, why do you think that matters so much, especially here, though?
I didn't plan for that.
I threw you for a loop. I know it.
And I think in anything in life, though, like it goes back to, I'll give like a plug to you and stuff that you always said, but the concept of not what you know, but who you know.
Yeah.
And when I applied to UNOH back in 22, I knew the people interviewing me. They knew me because I got involved in things on campus. I was present on campus. So I think like putting yourself out there and getting involved in things, you don't know what the butterfly effect could be of that. You probably could remember the student, but I know it was a student of yours that went to an NFL event or some event and was talking to someone in line.
Oh, that was Will Robertson.
Yes.
We were at the Super Bowl in Arizona, and we were literally doing they had to scan their ticket in order to get a picture with the Lombardi Trophy. And next thing you know, he's having a conversation with the
ended up being
sales manager for the Philadelphia Phillies.
So like it's stuff like that. Like just you don't know who you're going to be. It could be just a random person that might not have any influence, or it could be the director of sales at some massive company. Like you don't know what doors it could open, but you're not going to find those doors to open if you don't go do things.
Absolutely.
So,
and I mean, you're kind of experiencing it now, right? Like it's a full circle moment of, you listened to me in class and everyone else here in class, sort of, but heard the things that we said. And now you're kind of back in that position where you're the one giving that piece of advice. So, what you did a lot, athlete, racer leader, all that stuff. Like, what do you think had the most impact? Did any of them kind of like pave a way for you more than another? Or were they all just a part of like the entire process?
I think I'll always be a little bit biased and say softball. Softball shaped my life. I mean, hands down. I mean, I started playing when I was like 6.
Sure.
And played until I had to hang my cleats up in my 5th year, which was like 21. I came back out to COVID, played a 5th year in 2021. So, it was my whole life. And I think athletics can shape you a lot more than people realize. And it connected me with people that I still talk to this day, former coaches. And it teaches you real life skills too, if you allow it to.
I believe it. I'm a big proponent of that. As you know, I think I brought it up. Even probably, I know you didn't have first year experience with me, but when I do that now, I talk about how athletes have the ability to prove a lot of things without even like trying to prove them, that employers really, really like being a member of a team, hard work, dedication, showing up on time, all these things that are pretty prevalent pieces of how you get hired. Like being a part of an athletic team kind of builds those naturally. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
Will this be aired after finals? Before finals?
After.
Okay.
Finals are Wednesday. The finals are done Wednesday. This will be aired Thursday.
So any of the students in my sports marketing, sports facilities class, I think is the one online. This will happen after finals. My final exam in there is about, because I'm doing a massive project.
Yep.
So the final is about an article about you are a leader whether you like it or not.
Okay.
And I think that's a big thing with athletes, especially athletes on a college level, because you are being looked at, whether it's small school UNOH or big B Ohio State University. You know who the athletes are. We have Lima community members come in, young kids watching our basketball players. In basketball, softball, volleyball, whatever sport it is, it teaches you to be a representative of something bigger than yourself. And that article that I'm having the kids do, it's about that. Like whether you think you're a leader in some area of your life. It's just what you do with that information once you let it click.
Sure. And spoiler alert for Riley, we're doing something similar. So,
Okay. Did you like my idea? Did you like steal it?
I didn't necessarily steal it. I think you might have done the janitor one. Do you remember doing that back in the day?
I did when I was in your BS.
Yeah. So it's a play off of that.
Similar concept.
But in the facilities management class of how every interaction you have at different levels of a facility specifically, but can be also talked about in life, does affect you.
Yeah.
Just literally had that conversation with a student. Like, we all know what a brand means. We all know when you see the Nike swoosh, all that stuff. Every interaction, every time you email, every time you talk, every time you show up, you don't show up, you go to class, you go to work, or any of those things, those are all interactions that help build your personal brand. And at some point in time when you want to rely on that.
You always talked about that.
I did.
So you like the social media when you had lost my social media.
Yep. I actually still put yours up.
It's changed a lot.
I know.
This has been progress and growth that I made on my social.
Good for you. Good for you. Look at you growing up. All right. So again, being involved in a lot of things, we're going to do a little, plug for our sports marketing and management program because our program, I guess, is built on experiential learning. It's a big, meaningful part of me in my education world. And if anyone doesn't know, experiential learning just means doing things outside of the classroom, not opening up a textbook rather than go places. So as someone that's been through that within our program, I'm always interested in hearing from ex-students how valuable that was for you in some way, shape, or form. So, what skills did you kind of gain from that, or any experiences that you can remember that we leaned on that you kind of, utilize later on in life or in a professional opportunity?
For me personally, so I did the MLB All-Star Game. I did the Super Bowl down in Miami.
Which is still, I think, my favorite trip, by the way.
I loved it. I would not go back. Miami was awful.
I don't know if I would go back to Miami, but everything about that trip was
a
super fun.
The people, everyone we went with was a great time. It's just I am small town Ohio through and through.
Well, then Miami is probably not for you.
Miami, first ever flight of my life, and it was into Miami.
You agree? Were the first time you guys had flown?
Terrifying.
But I always say, aesthetically speaking, getting stuck in traffic in Miami.
At least it was pretty.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things to look at.
At least it was pretty.
Rather than getting stuck by a train here.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I know.
Private trains are hot.
But it's a whole thing. But yes. All right. Keep going. Sir.
But for me personally, I have, which is ironic now, I'm saying this on a podcast when I'm talking, but I used to struggle a lot with communication, public speaking, putting myself out there. It wasn't something I was very confident in doing. And forcing myself to do things like the, Super Bowl, MLB All-Star Game, even Race for Leader, which, we talked about a little bit. It forced me out of that comfort zone because you can't just go to, the on location, go to those events in Miami and just stand there in a corner. You have to talk, you have to socialize. So it kind of forced me to do those things, but in a fun way that also taught me about the industry and what it actually looks like.
Sure.
I think in general, you get to see the inner workings, though, of those massive events that when you're just watching on TV, you don't realize what goes into it.
Not even close.
I never realized until we were down there for the Super Bowl, all of the individual, tailgate parties.
Yeah.
Not hundreds, but it was a lot of.
It was a lot.
That are just being hosted all across, the location.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that happened. I thought they just played a game, had some cool commercials, someone really cool at halftime, and that was it. So it was cool to see all that.
So how important do you think the networking aspect of this and these trips kind of play a part in?
Especially in the sports industry.
Yeah.
There's no denying that if you're going into the sports industry, the realisticness of that is that it's an industry that you got to know people. Doing things more on a local high school scale, coaching local teams, stuff like that. But if your goal is to get to a professional level, you can't really just walk up to Cincinnati Reds and be like, hey, I want to work for you.
You could.
They're probably going to be like, security.
Yeah, get him out.
He was this person. But if you meet people, you talk to people, Will's story.
Yeah.
I don't know if that really turned into much for him, but it still was an interaction that he had.
Yeah.
That is crucial in that industry and in many others, but it goes back to that. It's not always what you know, it's who you know.
Absolutely.
So getting to go on trips like the All-Star Game, the Super Bowl, Final Four, all of those, it gives you that chance to meet people actually in the thick of what you want to do.
Correct. And now as you sit in your role, with the advising piece with the international students as well, but even more interactive with like the students in our program as being an adjunct and teaching more. If you gave somebody, looked at them now and said, here's my piece of advice as, 28-year-old Abbie now. That sounded weird to say. My goodness. 28-year-old Abbie now, here's the best piece of advice that I would give. What would it be?
Say yes.
Ooh.
There's so much stuff I look back on that I wish I would have done sooner. Okay. I wish I would have went to possibly more Super Bowl trips. I would have went to more, on campus, like actual clubs, organizations, and I didn't do that. So when you're like thinking of saying no and like that reason is just because you're a little unsure or nervous, just say yes.
Why do you think it's so hard to do that?
I think it's the fear of the unknown.
Okay.
You don't know. I mean, at least for me, you don't know what's going to come of it. Is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be scary? Am I not going to like it? You might not like it. You might think it's the worst thing you ever did, but then you just don't do it again.
Yeah.
Or it could be the best thing you ever did, and it opened thousands of doors for you that never would have been open for.
Sure. But I agree 100%. And the more times you can do that, the more comfortable it becomes. And then it just becomes a natural thing to just be involved. And that's never going to hurt. I love it. Okay. First pit stop. I always ask every group, do you like the name The Pit Stop?
I do, but like I have watched every episode of the podcast. So I want to make that very clear.
Yes.
I have watched every episode.
Wow. Hold on. It's timeout. That's the first.
I'll be honest. Like I, peeked the script a little bit.
I know.
There's a question later about like most used app on my phone. YouTube. I am on YouTube all the time. I love YouTube videos. I follow people on YouTube. So like when the podcast got announced as a thing, I am honestly jealous that it wasn't a thing when I was a student. Because I think it's such a cool idea. And I've watched every episode.
So you've seen the progression.
Yeah. I mean,
I've seen when we didn't have the pit stop and we were just randomly doing it.
Yeah, I remember the first episode when you introduced the pit stop.
Yeah.
But like that makes me kind of nervous for the pit stop.
Nothing to be nervous about.
I don't know if it's not the pit stop. It's me.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
I don't know if I trust myself.
All right. So the first pit stop, which is in this beautiful toolbox, which I thought was awesome idea by Braden. So well done, Braden. So the first one is, would you rather? I always say I'm going to do one, and then you, if you would like to do one as well, you're allowed.
Definitely want to ask.
You don't have to ask. You don't have to ask me.
No, I'm asking you.
Gosh darn it! Now I'm scared. Okay, first pit stop. Would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather always speak your thoughts or never speak unless spoken to? Stop. I know what her answer is going to be. So easy. It's not even funny. Would you rather always speak your thoughts or never speak unless spoken to?
The first one wouldn't really change anything for me.
And in context, we didn't really bring this up. Well, we will. It will be brought up, but Abbie did a really good job of being vocal in class.
In a very nice way.
I don't know if I said that correctly, but
I was very confident and comfortable in sharing my opinions.
correct. And I really appreciated it.
I was engaging.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I egged it on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I utilized it sometimes in some assignments that I still do. That one leadership one with the cards, I still do that.
Yeah.
Because I remember how impactful it was to kind of self-evaluate.
Glad I had an impact.
You did. You impacted me as a student. Okay, you're up. Are you asking me or the?
I'm going to see what it says and then I'll determine.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to think. So I feel like this would be a good question for Braden, but I also feel like I would know Braden's answer.
Okay, you can ask.
I'm going to ask it to the room.
You're going to ask to the group.
To everyone.
Okay.
Would you rather be rich for something embarrassing or unknown forever?
I'll answer quickly. I have 3 children and I drive a lot, so I would like some money. So I'll be rich. And I embarrass myself all the time.
Well, but I feel like Braden, I feel like I could be completely off, but I feel like you would say the same thing because you're just like, I could be embarrassing, but like if I got money.
What was the second one?
Unknown forever. And I feel like you don't strike me like you have a goal to make an impact. And being unknown would allow you to do that.
I would not like to be unknown. Okay, moving on. That was fun. Thank you so much. Next, I want to dive into the aspect of what you were really passionate about. I know you have all your stinking colored notes about it, okay? So I'll make sure I try to do that. One thing I do remember about you in the classroom, you were boisterous. You spoke your mind and spoke your opinions, but always kept it professional-ish. I think there was a couple times it got a little heated, if I remember it correctly. But that passion about conversations involving women in sports. I think we've come a long way, but I still think there's obviously some glaring issues when it comes to that, whether it's leadership, representation, coaching, administration, opportunities. You always had something thoughtful to contribute in most of your presentations that were pick something leaned that way. So I think my first question is, I kind of remember, but at the same token, like what brought that? Obviously, you're a female and played sports, but like what brought that passion to that level?
I have never been quiet. I'm also, to make a note, my mom also watches the podcast.
Oh,
So shout out mom, love my mom. But she will agree to this. I've never been quiet. The second I learn to talk, I have it shut up sense. But because of that, a lot of times women in sports, when you're too loud, you're too emotional, it's like you're judged for it and put into a box like, oh, well, you're a woman, you're emotional. Whereas a male athlete can show the same emotion and they're not called emotional or crazy or loud. I've never been a quiet one. I've never been someone who wanted to be in the background. Like if I was passionate playing softball, you were seeing my passion. That could come across as crazy. That could come across as a few other words that I can't say on a school podcast.
that could be bleeped out if they slid. It's okay.
But I was called a lot of those things playing sports. And I just have never liked the double standard that exists of why is my passion witchiness,
Yes.
but my male counterpart's passion, drive,
Yeah.
aggression. Like it's
Looks completely different.
yeah. And that's just where kind of the passion came from, because I wasn't also your like typical girl growing up either, I guess. Like I would rather be outside playing in dirt than inside playing with Barbies.
Okay.
But I was still a girl, so I was still told, you had to do girl things, you had to be this way. And I think that's kind of what stemmed all of it for me, was like, if I want to be loud, I'm going to be loud.
Sure. Did you ever face challenges when it came to that, and the way that you've thought, like, I'm just going to be who I am and act the way that I am? Did you ever get pushback or have any, you don't have to be specific, but did you like face anything particular?
I mean, to an extent. I mean, I think there's, it's with anything in life, you vibe with people you vibe with. Like, you're not someone who likes crazy, loud, in-your-face people. Those are the people you're going to like. So, I mean, I definitely feel like there was times where growing up, maybe the people were like, okay, Abbie's a little loud. Let's go over here instead of around her. But, I mean, I definitely was vocal even with, like, coaches and stuff. And I definitely got pushback from that.
Sure.
Shout out to my dad as well if he watches this. He benched me a time or two.
I mean, sometimes that's a necessary process in this, though. And correct me if I'm wrong, in that process from, let's just say, 16 to 24, you had to figure that stuff out and then know when to do it, when not to, what was appropriate, what wasn't. I feel like for a lot of students in this window of time that we interact with every single day, right? A lot of them struggle with knowing, like, I'm passionate about something. How do I do it without having that pushback, but then not lose who I am? I mean, do you see that as much as I do sometimes, or?
Just a time and place type of concept.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm going to say.
Because, I mean, you can always be passionate, but now you're kicking.
Sorry, my bad.
It's like ruining the whole entire, he's kicking cameras and stuff with DK. He's getting passionate now. But like, there's only the time and place, sure. Like, and I see it. I mean, some of them, sure, some of the emails I've gotten over times, and it's like knowing who you're kind of communicating with. Like, I get it. You feel very passionate about this topic, but knowing kind of how to share that passion in a way that's still professional and conducive to what you're trying to get done.
Correct. And I just brought it up because I was in a meeting literally right before this with a student kind of saying that same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're not wrong. The way you just delivered it, though, created an opportunity that we have to try to fix now, even though you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But sometimes the time and the place, how do I do it? How do I say it? Is that appropriate way to send an email? Like, I'm just thinking about little intricacies that
I have learned that now. Like you said, 16-year-old Abbie was literally getting benched by my dad. My dad was my high school softball coach. He benched me a time or two because I didn't know the time or place then. I was stubborn. I was passionate. I said what I wanted to say, and coach said,
sit out.
Whereas now I can still be passionate, but I can better be like, okay, is this something I need to talk about right now? Or do I almost sit back, gather some evidence first?
I feel like you had a moment, though, the other day with the email that you sent myself and Dr. Evans, and you even like mentioned to me, like, it kind of came across.
Yes. I was also like rushing out the doors. I literally was like clocking out. I'm like, I need to send this before I leave.
But again, nothing you said was inaccurate.
Yeah, but the delivery could have been.
But almost the interpretation of it sometimes skews us in the wrong direction.
But especially in writing. Especially in writing. Writing's, that's why I prefer to talk in person, a phone call. Oh, God. I'm old school, sorry.
No, I'm not saying that's wrong. I feel like in the role that I have, where a lot of I'm dealing with student issues, oh man, I don't want to say a big number and it'd be wrong, but I'm just going to say 90% could have been solved if they just would have sat down and had a conversation.
prefer talk face to face.
Hangman's sister.
Anyways,
Anyway, moving on. No, I'm kidding. Have you seen that landscape in sports, especially for female athletes? Have you seen it get better? That's a terrible way of saying this, but like grow, have evolved.
100%. I mean, from when I started playing sports, when I got into competitive sports, started understanding sports even more. I mean, the landscape, the visibility. I mean, look, Caitlin Clark is, like, in my opinion, one of the prime examples because of what she did to women's basketball.
Sure.
I mean, people can argue it all they want. This could be a decisive comment as well, advice, a comment in the
It's okay.
podcast, but like, people were not watching the WNBA before Caitlin Clark. Were they? A little bit, yes, but to the numbers they are now, no, they're not. They might not be watching for Caitlin Clark now. They might have found another player they love,
But because of that,
she kickstarted it.
there you go.
So I mean, the landscape has changed. I mean, you're getting larger audiences. You're, how they're marketing them is different. Are there still issues? 100%.
Sure.
Is it still right that to search for certain female athletes, if I had a picture of them, the first picture of them playing their actual sport is like 7 rows down?
We talked about that, and I think
Where
I'm not even sure what class it was, but
public policy or one of them. Whereas if you coach a male athlete, very first picture is him playing a sport.
yeah.
So I mean, there's still a misrepresentation of them in certain, but I think the bigger thing is women speak up a lot more now than they used to.
I think they feel like, in general, they have a better voice.
Yes, it's more, we're listened to.
Yeah.
And if we have an opinion, I don't think we're as scared to say it anymore either.
No, absolutely.
So there's more visibility, especially with a lot of the women that are leading athletics. They'll take the stage and talk about what they're feeling, what they're thinking. And I think that has also helped propel women's sports.
No, absolutely. I think if you look even here at UNOH, athletic director, female, the new women's flag football coach, Coach Lockridge, that we just had on the podcast, strong female presence, the dean of our college, a strong female presence. Like, those things aren't looked at the same that they were,
There's so many women in leadership positions at UNOH alone now that are taking charge. I mean, faculty and staff across the board and I think it's also kind of reclaiming that concept of like, I'm crazy because I'm a woman instead of being just emotional. Like, I made a note here because I referenced this in one of my papers I did. 2019, Nike did a commercial with Serena Williams called Dream Crazier.
Yes.
And the last line before it fades out is Serena says, I think it's Serena. I'd be really embarrassed if it's not Serena.
Either her or Venus,
I
right?
think it's Serena, though.
Yeah, it would have been Serena, not Venus.
But she says, so if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
Oof.
And I think, like, and that's not just women. I mean, that's anyone. Like, if they want to call you whatever, like.
I probably showed that video in class.
Great commercial.
Gosh.
Great commercial.
Because I do the same thing in public policy for the Colin Kaepernick one. When in our first test, I think it's still the Colin Kaepernick effect of looking at it deeper than just surface level, or not talking about taking a knee. We're talking about how that gained representation for athletes on another level.
Yeah.
Like, that whole transition during that time, it was a similar time frame, right? Like,
yeah, it was about,
I would say, around the COVID time, which it kind of encompasses a large group. So I know I'm in there somewhere. But so with that, with leadership roles, why do you think women in those sort of positions, why do you think that matters? Why do you think that, like, has more impact?
I know for me growing up, a lot of my coaches were male coaches. And then when I had my first female coach, it kind of was like this idea of like, I could be that female coach. And I could also connect with that individual because they were a female. I mean, you coach girls. I'm sure there's certain aspects where you can't connect with them on certain things. I mean, you have a 17-year-old daughter, so it's a little bit different for.
So I at least have a better idea, but there's also times where I lean on others, including some of the girls on the team that I can lean on to try to help.
Because you're still, at the end of the day, you're never going to experience the exact same things that they experience.
Nope.
But I think, like, just it gives that diverse perspective and that representation when you have just diverse individuals working in leadership positions in general. Regardless of what that might be, it represents any population that might come across that leadership position.
Sure.
I mean, I've even known Maddie Downing. Well, gotta shout Maddie Downing out. Love.
She's been on the podcast.
I know. I watched every episode.
Very good episode.
But love Maddie. But her and I have even talked, and like with Dean Evans, Dr. Evans coming into play, like how impactful that was, for Maddie. And I can even agree, like we love you, but like having Dr. Evan, who is a powerful female that we can also look up to and lean on, like, it just gives that representation and that connection.
Yep.
When you can see people like yourself or what you strive to possibly be like in that position.
I agree 100%.
I
Yeah.
have like a list of shout outs, like unintentionally shouting like everybody out.
A lot. I love it. And I can't agree more with pretty much any of those things. I even thought before I got busy and then forgot, I thought about looking up some of your old stuff.
That's
'Cause
a
I
problem if you ever want to see them.
They're probably still in my email because that was before the transition to Canvas.
There's an Moodle.
Moodle, and then I was emailing assignments, if you remember, all that stuff. Yeah, so I probably still have them.
I use Google Docs for everything, so obviously still saves. So if you ever need, to reference one, because they're great. Riley might. I show how like every paper I did.
All right, before we jump into your transition from student at UNOH to employee at employee at UNOH, we're going to take our second pit stop, which is not in the toolbox. It's my quick hitters.
Okay.
Which I might have changed a few, so just beware because I wanted to put you extra on the spot. So this is quick questions and quick answers. Try not to think, just respond quickly.
Okay.
Ready?
You'll lock it.
All right, pit stop number 2, rapid fire. You ready?
Okay.
Favorite place on campus?
Research station.
Favorite class you ever took at UNOH?
History of sport.
What side were you on in the infamous debate about paying college athletes?
Against.
Favorite softball memory?
My freshman year, my sister's senior year, there's a video my dad has at Defiance, and I was playing second. She was playing short.
Okay.
And I made a diving play at second, like towards first base. And in the video, my sister is seen running towards me at second, hands in the air going, "That's my sister." After I made the diving play.
Phenomenal.
And it's like
Still.
low-key funny because
But all of those.
they would also, yeah. I mean,
What?
that was our last ever seeing getting to play softball together.
That's awesome.
But favorite memory, hands up.
This is a weird question. I don't know why I'm asking it. Most underrated campus resource?
All of them. Use everything.
Use all of them.
Use all the resources. Go everywhere. Talk to everyone.
One thing every student should do before they graduate.
Get a root beer float from Pat's at midnight.
Whoa.
It's life-changing. Telling you.
Did both of you hear that?
I know the owner.
Okay.
It's a root beer float, but it's specifically like summer night at midnight. Like it's so good.
Shout out Pat's, best donuts in Lima.
Phenomenal.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Depends on the day. Some days I need a little bit more. Sometimes I need both.
I know, me too. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl by choice.
Okay.
But I'm a forced early bird because I live in Fort Wayne and decided to work in Lima.
That'll transition as your life, and I know you're getting married this summer, and the things that start to progress after that are going to force you to be an early bird.
I'm already there.
I know.
I'll transition going.
But I'm just saying it then makes you realize, like, oh my God, you get up super early. I can get so much done. And, it's 9 o'clock.
Well, I already wake up at 5 a.m.
There you go. Me too. Favorite food spot in Lima?
La Churrasca's.
Nice. Most used app on your phone? I know the answer.
YouTube, but also my just normal phone app because I'm calling someone all the time.
If you had a walk-up song when you entered the 200 building where you work, what would it be?
This might be like a deep cut. No one is probably going to know this song. But it would be Sriracha by Tech 9.
I don't know what that is. We might need to.
It was my walk-up song my freshman year, then my 5th year.
Oh, you did.
So we did walk-up songs for softball.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up.
Yes.
That's a thing. Hey, give her a round of applause. Quick hitters. Well done. Okay. We are going to transition to talk about your time on campus as a student. Talk about you now being here on campus as an employee. So at what point in that process did you ever cross your mind, hey, maybe I'll go work at UNOH?
Never.
Never.
No. It was never a goal.
Me neither.
It was never a goal. I'm trying to get comfortable in this chair. It's hard. And I'm squeaking up. Or so you might have some editing to do. I apologize. But I never had plans to work in higher education, even back at UNOH. I graduated with my second degree in 22. At that time, my boyfriend, now fiance, was already graduated. He went here as well. He was working in Fort Wayne, living in Fort Wayne. And when I finished in March of 22, I moved to Fort Wayne with him. And I was looking at jobs in Fort Wayne, a single person would
Absolutely.
look for work where you live.
Yep.
And I was on, I think, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, one of the basic job searching apps. And UNOH Associate Registrar popped up. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. That's Lima. Why would I go work in Lima when I'm in Fort Wayne? But I'll apply because why not? I'm sitting here today.
Yeah.
So obviously I never, higher education, I had no idea what I was going to do, but higher education in UNOH was never a thought.
So how did that experience on both sides help you in that transition from, student and, kid to adult working in the real world? Did it affect you in a positive way?
Like what, like coming back to?
Yeah, like you being here and then coming to work on campus, did it help you? Did it?
I think it did. 'Cause, I mean, I've seen other employees that have like joined after me around the same time as me that say didn't have that same connection. Like they didn't come from, they came, different university. They've never been here before.
Sure.
They had to be taken on a tour, told who's who, where stuff is. And I'm like, I've been here indirectly since 2013. I could probably walk this place blindfolded.
Sure.
So, I mean, it made it definitely easier because I knew everything at the back of my hand already. I mean, I just spent the past 5 years living at this place. So it made it easier, but there was also like awkwardness to it
Okay.
because when I started, I was now an employee here, but there were still students here that were my teammates and friends like 9 months ago.
So that could be awkward.
So yeah, there was, that learning that, am I still your friend right now? Or am I the employee right now that has to like be professional?
Sure.
Because literally 9 months ago, I was doing college activities with my friends, and now I'm helping you get your transcript to graduate.
Absolutely.
That's what my first job was here. Luckily, that's all past me.
Yeah.
No one, I'm old enough now that there's no one still here that I went to college with.
There better not be.
Yeah, that'd
Be really.
we'd have some question. But that part was it was just that figuring out how to navigate that.
So you started in a registrar's office. So now let's transition to like talk about what you're doing and how important of a part of a role of this campus is. So what exactly does the Director of International Student Services do?
So every day is going to be different. I almost joke that it's like seasonal work because every season is different.
Okay.
If it's wintertime, I am doing a lot of background work. Reading up on, policies, regulations, government registrars that come out that are 300 pages long, and just doing a lot of like internal stuff to make sure whatever information I have, I'm relaying properly to our student population.
Okay.
But most students are not here. They go home for winter. I mean, our business side finishes obviously right before Thanksgiving. They don't come back to the new year. So it's pretty quiet, but busy work. Now, this time of year right now is my busiest. This is when all the intake's happening. So, I mean, I'm processing 15 to 20 documents per student, making sure they're the correct documents for both our admissions, but also the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay.
And then helping them get the proper documentation to go to their embassy, to get their fun legal documents, and then come join us as, a member of the Racer family.
So not only in the time that we're in now with this conversation, but in general, like pretty important process.
I mean, for sure. I mean, especially too, if you're looking at it from like the university athletic side.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think almost all of our athletic teams, except I don't think any of them. I think women's basketball right now maybe doesn't have anyone.
I mean,
but I think almost every single sport, except for bowling.
Okay.
But bowling's also like technically not. They're in their own like conference.
They're transitioning to the
right.
though.
Okay. Yeah. But that's the only one. Baseball, softball, golf.
I mean, I have 7 girls next year and 5 are international.
So I mean, if you're a coach, you probably would say my job is extremely important.
Well, the amount of times I say the words something, go see Abbie, have you need to, please get out of my office, go see Abbie. It happens.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it happens on a daily basis.
Yes.
Not just because I do trust you, but like.
You just don't want to work with it. You just want to deal with it. It's like, this will go have her deal with it.
You know it better than me.
No, I honestly would rather you send them to me.
Yeah, I know.
Not that you're not a very intelligent individual, but there's certain things.
That was kind of a plug.
That's a nice thing I'll ever say to him. But like, I don't expect Ish on this campus to fully understand the international.
Yeah, it's challenging regardless.
I mean, and it's ever changing. I mean, I bet you right now, when I leave here and go back to my office, I could probably text you and be like, hey, something just changed already.
Oh, I bet.
Because that's how quick it happened. So like, I would rather you do what you're doing and say, go see Abbie, and have a student come to my office 15 times, really for no reason, but I'd rather them do it to be safe.
Sure.
Than for you to tell them, oh no, you're probably fine. And now you indirectly just jeopardize that student's, whole status.
What do we do here at UNOH when it comes to that international component that you're like prideful of, that you're proud of, that you say like, we do it better, so you want to consider coming here rather than XYZ place? Is it something about like the sense of belonging that we create for them? Is it the sense of like there's a lot of international students that are here, so it's not going to be abnormal for you, or is it like the process? Or
I know some of the coaches that I've talked with use that last one quite a bit. Bill, but he's talked to me, and he's not talking to an international prospective student per se, but a student from a state that's far away. And he's even used our international numbers as a way to say like, you're not going to be the only one that's not from here.
Yeah.
Our university does have diversity.
Yep.
Whether it be 42 countries or every one of the 50 states.
I think it's 49 this year.
49 except Wyoming.
Yes, that was random.
Yeah. Wyotech.
Oh yes, that's right. That gets brought up all the time.
That's why Wyoming. So I mean, if you're in Wyoming, come to Lima if you got Wyotech.
We're not giving them a plug.
Yeah, no.
But we understand.
Cut that out. But like I know coaches use that as a way to talk about, we just do have the diversity. I think for me personally though, like anyone that's ever been to my office, I know you've been to my office. You guys have been over that. I don't know if you've actually seen my office. I would argue after, another shout out, Natalie Gunder, my office might be the second most colorful office on this campus.
There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah. But I do that like not because like I'm really not a bright, colorful person, truthfully. But I do that because sometimes I do have to have tough conversations in my office. I do have to have tough ones, like tough moments. And I don't want it to feel like a superintendent's office. I want my office to be a place that is welcoming, is open. I always joke when kids come over. I call them kids, and I'm a kid.
I mean,
don't myself.
they are.
But when they come over for the first time and they're with mom, dad, whoever, I always tell them I'm not old enough to be their mom, but I can be a really good big sister. Because they are leaving and going thousands of miles away. So I try my best to create that sense of welcome, belong. You're a member of our university and a member of our family.
Yeah.
I also have snacks, candy.
You do. I've taken some.
Everyone does.
You take my mints, so.
I do. I love those mints.
I know. They're addicting. I wish I had one right now, actually.
Very good mints.
All right. Let's end this thing, shall we? So again, we're going to go back. You've experienced a lot of different perspectives here. The list is endless. What are some of like your best lessons that you've learned along the way from being a student to working here and being a graduate and looking at things obviously from a much different perspective? Like what are some of those best ones?
Earlier when I said just say yes.
That's a good one.
But I'm going to expand on that. What I've learned as an adult.
Yes.
Just say yes, but know when to say no.
Yes.
Because that's one regret I do. I have a little bit when I first started working here. Because I mean, this was my true first adult job. I worked at Pizza Hut, Lids, but like my first
2-year-old job.
Job. And I was so ambitious and so eager. But that's great. But you can stretch yourself very thin.
Yep.
And I think I did that early on where I was almost too ambitious that everyone well, Abbie can help out. Abbie can help out. And I want to help everyone. But you got to also know when to be okay, I've done too much. But knowing when to draw that boundary for yourself. And it doesn't, and I think a lot of people, because I struggle with myself, is that's not ever a bad thing to draw a boundary for yourself. If someone wants to be upset that you drew a boundary, that speaks more on them than it does on you.
Yep.
So know when to protect yourself essentially and be able to give 100% in what you are doing versus 50% spread throughout.
I think it takes me back always to what does it mean to have work-life balance? I don't like the word balance because then you can drive yourself freaking insane trying to get balance, right? There's never a time where it's balanced, but it is when can I say yes? When can I say no? When can I focus on this part of my life opposed to this one? It's a slippery slope and it's a tricky process, but as you progress and go along, you got to find out.
When you get more confident, I was too insane. Because I think early on, you do want to make a good impression, but once you've kind of got confidence, you're not as scared to say no anymore.
I love it. What excites you the most about some of the things at UNOH that's going on? Anything that comes to life of futuristically speaking of this is really cool thing that's happening?
I mean, I don't know how much can really be said on a lot of things, so I don't want to say too much.
We can edit it out.
If I don't know what limitations there are. But I'm on a committee with you for internships and community outreach. And I think that the College of Business itself, I will always be a little biased to the College of Business because I was a College of Business student.
Yep.
I think there are so many awesome opportunities for College of Business students that I think we're now starting to really tap into for our students.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not it's not a hidden fact that most students that come to UNOH are coming because we're a nationally recognized motorsports school.
Absolutely.
No offense, they're not necessarily coming because I looked for UNOH for sports marketing specifically. It's not as prevalent. We're not nationally recognized for Phil Gunder.
Well, usually the answer is, I know we should. Usually the answer is, well, they told me that you guys go to the Super Bowl, so I wanted to do that. Yeah, exactly.
But I think like there's a lot of movement happening behind the scenes that isn't shown at the moment yet because it's behind the scenes. But there's a lot of really cool things that I've got to hear professors talk about, things they're working on, stuff going on in classrooms that I'm excited for the opportunities I think we're going to be presenting to students in years to come.
I agree 100%. And there's some really cool things happening. So for you students that are listening or anyone that's thinking about it, stay tuned because you're going to see some movement here in the future and it's going to be very positive. So I want to give you a huge shout out. Shout out.
I think we've used all of our shout outs for this episode.
I'm going to say I'm super proud of you, Abbie Meyer, not only for joining us today, but how impactful you are on campus and the things that you do. And I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
I thank you for all of your help that you give me selfishly.
You should be thankful.
I really should. Riley can attest. And I think I'm really excited for your future here and what that looks like. Because I was going to wait for you to kind of give a selfish plug. But your future is in the process of trying to figure out where that looks long term. And I'm super excited for that.
I'm loud but humble.
I know. And I do appreciate that. I did appreciate you as a student. I appreciate you now as a colleague, which is just weird to even say. We work together, but I'm proud of you for that. And I think it's super awesome. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks you are a valuable asset to things that are going on here. So just know that you're appreciated. So
appreciate that.
Well, thank you again for joining us, even though you came off the bench, I'm 7th inning,
strong six-man
relief pitcher, whatever the case may be. What other sport kind of innuendo we can throw out there?
I really only know basketball and baseball.
That's right. So we'll stick with those. Yeah. That's right. Utility player.
Yeah.
Ooh. Either way, I appreciate you joining us. I appreciate you sharing some great insight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. And like I mentioned at the beginning, this is the 15th, 16th. I don't know what the number is. Gosh. Oh, this is the 16th episode. But the last one in our rule of 5 for this calendar year, for academic calendar year for you. And Brayden and I are going to join you for a little kind of recap and kind of mention where we're heading from here. But I want to thank you for joining us. Can't wait for you to watch your own episode now.
I probably won't. Only when I won't watch.
Either way, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys joining us. Chime it in when you have, being a part of the program, being a part of the podcast. We appreciated it so far. And we'll see you on the next one. Whenever that is. I don't even know yet. We'll let you know. Appreciate it, guys. See ya.
Alrighty, what is up, guys? This is just right after Abbie's episode that you guys just watched. But before we wrap up this episode, we wanted to talk a little bit about the plans moving forward. The amazing year that we've had so far.
It's been a lot of fun.
I would argue it's been something. This podcast, we've only been doing it for. When did we start? When was the first episode?
Our first episode was September. Was it?
So what is that, 6 months?
Okay. I didn't think it was then.
Something like that?
October?
I thought it was October, like right before break.
Sure. Something like that. We have not been doing this podcast for a very long time.
And
but we've been killing it.
But to think about, again, I think it brought up when we did the Welcome Back one, where it started to where it is. But the progression has been fun, I think, for me to see. God, from a random idea that I had today.
We were spitballing. We had 2 chairs in the corner and like a little nightstand looking thing.
Yeah, and it was nothing other than let's see if this will work.
Let's have some fun and see where this goes.
Yeah. So I hope you've been enjoying yourself.
I have definitely been enjoying this because I did a couple of podcasts, you could say, back in high school.
Yeah.
So I love doing it. And then when the idea came to me of hey, we could do something legit for college, and I'm like, I'm here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But on this paper, as we reach the end of this academic year, because we have finals coming up in 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Not even. I mean, we have one more full week, so not even 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that it's even June, and this is
oh yeah, this year flew. This year flew.
So yeah, you guys will be seeing this after Braden and Riley are done with their finals. So hopefully there'll be positive feelings as they're flying back or going back home. Not
going back home. I
Going
drive.
back home.
I drive to Missouri. It's a lot.
right here.
Yeah, I know you drive a lot, but that's okay.
So we've been working on some behind the scenes stuff about scheduling for this upcoming summer, and I think we're just really gonna kind of take it one episode at a time.
For sure.
We're gonna do our best to keep it in the same rule of 5 that we have been doing and keeping it in that order, but expect curveballs. Expect there might be. We're gonna test out probably some virtual episodes.
I think we have to in order to kind of do big picture what we want to really do. And I know you are not the virtual one, but the one you did for the drifting one where you weren't on location. You know what I mean? Like the on location somewhere else needs to be a normal kind of aspect of this. So be ready, guys, for something random out of nowhere and wave to the people. That's right.
Wave to the people.
To the guest. That's funny.
We have people looking in.
Was that a fan?
I think it was a tour.
I think it was like one of those like high
really
school tours.
I want to say it was a fan.
A fan?
Do you think they said, "Oh yeah, that's the podcast"?
Probably not. But anyway, we're experimenting some new ideas, so expect we're gonna do our best to keep the 5 rolling. Because I think all we need is 1 5, and then we'll be right back into the fall whenever we're back here.
In reality, the whole rotation does work.
Right. So hopefully it should all just be fine. It should still flow how it should. But expect some new content, some new virtual podcast episodes. And as I said, we're just going to kind of go from there.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy your summer break.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a lot of my time working on my drift car.
So you can bring it back and I can get a ride.
As we mentioned, whatever episode that was, I don't remember which one it was.
Doesn't matter when it was, it matters when is. So when we start spitballing ideas and have our meeting next week, that has to happen.
Yep. So we will be doing, when I have my drift car up here on campus at one of the UNOH Drift Club events, I'm going to get him in the passenger seat. 100%.
Riley has to do it too?
You're welcome. You're welcome if you want to be there.
Are you going to want me to go first and see if I survive?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, what you can do, so like my drift car has around 500 horsepower. So that's one of the more higher ones on the grid.
Yeah.
If you want to just start out by like someone else who just has like a 100 horsepower 350Z, if you know what that is.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going all in.
You're just going to rip it?
I'm going all in.
You're just going to send it?
Because if I slow play it and don't like a part of it, I'm not going to experience the whole thing. So I'm going to be like,
you just want the whole roller coaster.
I'm going to the Millennium Force when I was 16 years old, and I don't like roller coasters.
So now.
You don't like roller coasters?
I do. I'm saying I didn't, and then I just rode the Millennium Force, and it was game over.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
No,
well,
I agree.
But yeah, other than that, is there anything else that you think we should mention? Because that's kind of the whole gist of this. Is summer's coming up. We don't have a set in stone plan. But something will happen. We're not cutting the podcast off. We're not just stopping this until fall. There will be more content coming. We just aren't exactly sure as of now. But once we figure all that out, we'll have posts up, we'll have reels up, and we'll keep you guys in the loop on that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is make sure they follow all the social stuff that I don't know what it is. So Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, super simple. Just search up Life in Racers Lane on TikTok and Instagram. So if you're watching this and you want to see the content that we have coming next, have a lot of cool guests coming up. If you want to see those, the best way to be kept in the loop and know when they're coming is just follow our social medias. That's where we put all of our stuff on. So
yeah,
other than that, you guys should be good in the loop.
Listen, you especially, both of you, super proud of you.
Thank you.
Like total dad, teacher moment here. Like to take the random idea and the random meeting that we had back in September and say, let's see what happens. I would have never thought that it would be here in this official cool idea little think tank.
Well, another thing to think about is think about where we've come from just this short amount of time. Think about that, but then think about multiplying that times 2.
That's where I get excited.
Where are we going to be at when next year's over?
It's a similar conversation when you think of the evolution of anything, cell phones, video games that we just talked about.
Right.
What's next? To think about what's grown in the last 5 years to 10 years to holy cow, endless possibilities.
We have a lot of ideas.
And if anyone has any cool ideas, shoot them our way.
If you guys want to see something, we've said this since day one.
Absolutely.
If you want to see a certain degree or a certain sport or a certain staff member, whatever, on an episode, we'll put that at the top of our priority list. Just let us know.
We're not afraid to just randomly do stuff,
Oh yes, we will do random stuff.
i.e., what's happening right now.
Yes, exactly. Alrighty, you got to get to your meeting. I'll get you out of here.
Hey, appreciate it, bro.
Of course, man. What a great year.
Been fun. Riley
Shout out Riley.
in the background. Kat back home in Atlanta. We'll see you back here hopefully in the fall.
Yep.
Anybody else? Haley, not really. No one really.
Haley, we'll have some more people on.
Yeah.
That'll come soon too.
Yeah. If you want to
More
be
people.
involved,
Just let us know.
come find me. It's a rigorous interview process.
Do you want to do it? Yes. Sick.
Anyway,
it.
thank
All
you,
right.
dude. I appreciate it.
See you guys.
See you guys later.